Hey guys, Road Warrior back here. I just kind of want to talk about. I got two clips in one. One is a second place I just recently got in Lucky Spot. Another one, and the other second half of the clip will be a nice score that I put up in Salmon Clash. Uh, big keynotes here. I started in just a different server, just a different language. I just picked random languages in both of these upcoming clips. I did fish it out in entirety. In other words, I did not server hop. I just simply went to another room. I had a guy, probably, I don't know, a month or two ago, maybe even a little longer, had mentioned for him, is all of his experience in Fishing Planet. He kind of messaged me in private. He didn't want his name shared or anything like that. But again, I don't really think it's cheating. I think it's something to do with, in his opinion, it was sometimes he feels like he has better luck in a server either by himself or with a limited amount of people in a server foreign to his own language. I'm not going to tell you what language he was in, but he'd mentioned this to me, and I was really skeptical at first. Again, I'm just sharing this up here on the channel just to kind of show you. At first I thought and scratched my head, well, that couldn't be a thing, but it's more and more that I've played in these things now. I'm starting to notice again, it's not like a 100% accurate thing where you can always go in and get the same luck. And for me in particular, just playing in so many competitions now, I know you're going to have ups and downs and that sort of thing. It's just the highs and the lows that are so extreme sometimes. When you're doing the same thing over and over, doing this, everybody's doing similar things, similar lures, and that sort of thing. And I know there is a little bit of a skill gap in regards to lures and that sort of thing and the knowledge overall in the game. However, I can't help but kind of just scratch my head, and I was kind of just wondering what kind of your guys' thoughts are on playing in different servers. Do you think it's dirty? Do you think it's acceptable? Do you think that, I think sometimes, in my opinion at least, I think it's warranted. Just to prove my point, the other day I played in a Nile Emperor comp with several buddies. We were all in the same room. There was one unique caught Nile Emperor in our entire lobby. So is there such a thing as bad servers, good servers? Lucky rooms, unlucky rooms. The more and more you play in these, again, you guys, everybody going for the X Series gear and that sort of thing. Not to mention, as you're trying to get better overall, whether it's your knowledge and, rotations, hook sizes, everything A to Z in regards to Fishing Planet competitions, you can't help but think it's hard to make the adjustments when you get those really raw dog like to call them, where they just give you the horrible luck. And then on top of it, sometimes you get the super RNG, which is fun as well. But I think just for me personally, I wish there was just some sort of medium. That way, when you're making adjustments, micro or macro adjustments, big or small, that you feel like you're actually doing something instead of just all being. To me, sometimes I'm starting to lean towards a lot of this just really does seem just random luck generated. And I know it's odd, but nonetheless, I kind of feel like that. I'm not saying there's not different comps that are skill related and that sort of thing. So, but I just want to let this play out. Kind of number two, just to see what your guys' thoughts are. Again, I kind of wish it was, again, in my head, if you get stuck in a room like the Nile Emperor room, me and several buddies were in the other day, when you couldn't even catch a unique, that's just horrible. The Nile Perch, even on a bad peak, you can usually get two, especially in our real time. I mean, that should be a bad run, even if your fishes are small. If your uniques are small, no biggie. That, death by sizes, I think most would agree. That to me is just comical. That is, by definition, should feel like random numbers generated. Hey, you got the short straw and somebody else got a longer straw, that sort of thing. But when you just get that dead lake, or you can just feel like you're just not going to catch a fish. And I think that probably resonates with most of you guys that's played in these things, and I'm sure once you've played in probably, I would say, 50 or more, you're going to experience this at one time or another, if not sooner. Especially in you guys that are just now picking up Fishing Planet competitions. It's something weird to do with, I guess, how they just deal out your luck. But again, I just kind of wanted to illustrate this here. Fishing in Lucky Spot. Now, I podiumed in this once long ago in just my native server, which would be English. Um, and ever since, I probably played in a good 30 times, and majority of the time, it literally gives me 3 to 4 uniques tops. I catch nothing but bowfin, no matter what pairing I do. And oddly enough, here looking back at this net, as you can see, I didn't even switch out my lure. I kept the same lure on the whole time just for test purposes as I was having this run. Again, I didn't even have to switch anything. So to me, it's just thought, okay, now we're moving on here to Salmon Clash. I'm not going to narrate much through this, but just kind of watch and see. I ended up putting up 137 points in this. Again, I didn't server hop. I might even follow up this video with one. I was in a party with Grizzly when I was doing this at the time. He was fishing or practicing for something else while I was doing my Salmon Clash run off stream here. But note, look how fast all these come out. Time and time again, they usually fly off or you get 70,000 blockers and that sort of thing. But again, I thought this was odd. Again, just playing in a different server. Notably, I can't even remember what language this was. I just picked a random one, went in there and fished it out. And then just oddly enough, here we go, another great run. I've gotten really good at this one, and it's just those odd things of I don't feel like you really should have to go into a server outside of your own language to feel like you get a medium bite rate. I'm not asking for an unfair advantage. I just want to feel like my games function properly. I don't know if you guys run into that as well, but I might put up the entire clip, but nonetheless, I'll probably mute it and just kind of watch. But again, I did not server hop. I simply started in a different server, and it just felt like I had what I would say, just the medium luck, what I would expect to have on, the majority of the runs. Okay, guys, as I pull out this last unique, I think you guys kind of get the point of what I'm saying. Again, I think sometimes, in my opinion, it's warranted if you're in a lobby for 10 minutes or something and you're just not catching fish, feels like your game's broken for whatever reason. Just feel free to, this was just for educational purposes, and again, just kind of document this. To me, it just feels like sometimes, I wish they would just make adjustments, but please feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.